So Siege X. It's been rumored and speculated for a while that there's going to be some overhaul to the game because people, love to jump on Ubisoft for any number of reasons. But the thing you got to remember is that they are sitting on a cash cow called Rainbow Six. It just prints money. It's ridiculous. You remember there was that whole scandal, I think last summer, where they tried to introduce, or I think they did introduce, a subscription model similar to other, big games that have done stuff like that. And everybody lost their minds, and there was talks of boycotts and people walking away from the game. Turns out they didn't. They kept playing and they kept spending money, and people still paid it. And so they just had their earnings call, and literally Rainbow Six at this point is one of two things that's holding up all of Ubisoft. Like, they have 20,000 employees and their entire company is held up by Rainbow and then Assassin's Creed. It's crazy, okay? But it's because it just prints money, and the people that play it play the crap out of it. They really, really do. There's not a lot of competition on the same level when it comes to Rainbow Six. And I mean, part of what's helped them be really successful, it seems to me, looking in from the outside, is that they've been around for long enough that they've been able to build up this community where they can do tournaments, where they can do a lot of community-based events, where they can support the streamers that are playing the games and stuff. And that goes a long way. And that's something that startup games trying to break into this just don't have the resources to do that, unless you're like a Tencent or something like that can just throw money at stuff. But as you see, Ubisoft officially announces Rainbow Six Siege X, quote, the biggest transformation in the game's history. So the other term for this is overhaul, which is more of what I've heard it referred to as. This year marks the 10th anniversary of Ubisoft's ever popular tactical shooter, the company's biggest and longest running success of the last decade outside AC. This weekend, Ubisoft revealed a teaser video for Rainbow Six Siege X and described it as, quote, the biggest transformation in the game's history, end quote, that was set to introduce, quote, new ways to play, deepened tactical gameplay, and major upgrades all around. And this is the video that they shared showcasing this. Okay, so I know what you're thinking. Is this just like an adult entertainment spin-off game? No, that's not what the X means, apparently. I know, I'm just as disappointed. Apparently, it basically just is like the new trend where, you know how Apple started calling everything Ultra or Pro, and then everybody else started calling everything Ultra or Pro? I think that's what's going on here. X is the new thing. You just call things X and it means it's cool. So they have the official reveal coming Thursday the 13th, but in a blog post, they say it's a new era for the game, one that sets the stage for the years to come, that's designed to, quote, reinforce Rainbow Six Siege's position at the top of tactical first-person shooters. So, as you can see, a sequel, this is not. It's hard to say what this is. I mean, there's been rumors and leaks for a while as to what this is expected to be. The expectation is that it's going to be a major graphical overhaul. So they're going to upgrade pretty much everything, in the game. There's been talk of potentially removing support for last gen consoles and platforms and hardware, meaning that they would push everybody into modern hardware to overhaul like destructible environments and have you remember like with Counter-Strike 2 when they introduced the whole like new smoke mechanic and how the bullets can go through the smoke and alter the positioning of it. I think the goal is to basically do that kind of overhaul. I think that's the goal. My fear whenever I hear overhaul is that they're going to break a bunch of stuff while trying to overhaul it, and it's going to take 3 years to fix everything. Because sometimes it goes well. Sometimes it really, really doesn't go well. just saying. As you can see, Joshua Mills held the stage at the 6th Invitational before a roaring crowd and explained, "It's not Siege 2 and it's not just another update. It's a major evolution. We're expanding and reinforcing the very foundation of Siege to ensure it remains the pinnacle of tactical PvP first-person shooters. This means major graphical and audio upgrades, refined game feel, and new ways to enjoy the game, all while staying true to what makes the core of Siege so special." And they say, "It's such a significant leap forward that we can't possibly do justice here at the 6th Invitational." And they're going to showcase it March 13th in Atlanta, doing a full reveal special event for it. Graphical audio upgrades. Okay, cool. Like whatever they call it, spatially traced audio or something. That's cool. That stuff is cool, especially for tactical shooters. That's important to have good audio. Refined game feel. Not sure what that means. That could mean almost anything. And new ways to enjoy the game. I need your help, chat. What does that mean? What does that mean? What is a new way to enjoy the game? When I think of a new way to enjoy the game, I think of new platforms or like new input, something like a new way to enjoy the game just feels weird. Rule 34 support. That's where the X comes from. Oh, it's all coming together. Mobile. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like a mobile or a Switch 2 port, something like that, where it's like, it's a new way to enjoy Rainbow on the go. That's what it makes me think of. Maybe it just means that like, oh, there's a new streamer community mechanic where like the community can be more involved in like environmental changes for competitive sessions where streamers and their communities can be more intertwined. Maybe something like that. I don't know, but I don't know. It's interesting. New game modes, that could be the other thing. If it's just a new game mode or a couple new game modes, that could be seen as a new way to enjoy the Rainbow Six experience. So that could also be it. I hope it's not mobile, because whenever you port stuff to mobile, it tends to degrade the complexity of things. If you want to do a spin-off Rainbow game, cool. I think they already are doing that. At least I think. It wouldn't surprise me. I don't know. But if they were just adding new game modes, that would be fine. I'd be fine with that. They've let 100 creators play test it. Oh, well, there you go. Cool. Hopefully, they got good feedback. Because sometimes one thing I've seen before is like these stories. I was at an event where I was talking to a TikToker, shocker. And the TikToker said that they had gone and they had talked with, I don't think they're even open anymore, but it was a new company that was trying to do a live service thing, like a startup kind of deal. And they had brought him in as an expert gamer because he had like 1 million followers on TikTok to consult on the game. And this is one of the guys that like jokingly said he doesn't play games because he just likes getting the views and stuff. Like literal grifter. Okay. But this guy is like, yeah, no, and I consulted on it, and they showed me a bunch of stuff, and I started asking what did they show? He's like, well, the thing was built around these NFT things, and he was like, I don't know if you know what NFTs are, but it's a super cool crypto thing where you can get rich by playing a game. I told him I thought it was a brilliant idea. I thought it was fantastic because the idea of playing a game and then I could become a millionaire just by playing that game was such a cool idea. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. It's like, I don't. Oh my God. But that's the problem, is that's the kind of people that sometimes they get advice from, is people like that. And then shocker, their company went belly up because they followed his advice. So, and I'm sure other people like him, but sometimes when you get creators involved, it can go great. If the creator actually is involved in the community and knows what they're talking about, it can be very, very useful. Sometimes it isn't. That's an example, I think. So I'll just leave that there. Yeah. Oh my God. I have a lot of stories of that guy. I know a lot, to be clear, I know a lot of other TikTokers and streamers and stuff who are wonderful, delightful people, and they're true gamers and they just make short form content. And that's totally fine. I love a lot of my TikTok friends, but I've found that there's a whole hell of a lot more like actual grifter types in the TikTok area that do not care at all or know anything about the gaming community or industry, but just have a big number next to their name because of TikTok. And so companies think that their opinions are worth more. And it's so funny. It's so funny because they end up digging themselves into holes real quick. But anyway, all this to say, Rainbow Six X, Siege X, whatever it's called, is coming. They're doing the full reveal in March. We'll see what that looks like. I think probably new game modes, graphical overhauls, audio overhauls. I think as a result, the game also won't run as well as it did before, because whenever you crank games fidelity, typically performance can take a hit. So hopefully they've polished the crap out of it. That's going to be a huge deal. If people are used to getting, say, 120 frames a second, and then the game looks way better, but it runs at 70 or 60 frames, people will be upset about it. So optimization is going to be a big thing, I think. And it's going to be interesting to see if they cut off previous gen console support, because that's been, I think, a big boon for their player counts for a long time. So we'll see if they do that, but time will tell. Yeah, new X experiences. Yeah, exactly. You can tell why an executive would be really, really excited at the concept of that. He took my thing. Red